Do you want to start a business, get out of the office, achieve happiness and success while crushing life? This is Boss to Boss, the place to be for that extra motivation to get up and follow your dreams while learning from the ones who have already done it. And now for your host, Miro Wieslow.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Boss to Boss. Today's guest is a renowned international image consultant dedicated to improving the nonverbal communication and the development of personal and business identity. A self-made businessman and entrepreneur, book author that works in between Mexico City and Los Angeles, but also all around the world since he started traveling at the age of 17 in search for the truth behind beauty, fashion, and style. He believes that for a human being to explore all of his capabilities, he must first take care of the fundamentals, which is himself, because if you can look good, you will feel good, and ultimately, you will live good. He's the founder and owner of the company Style Systems, a company dedicated to helping people around the world become the best version of themselves, while working with these companies and other people to make them aware of the endless possibilities that a well-polished image has to offer. He's the author of books and articles which have been used in magazines such as Gentleman, Blasting News, and The Modern Gentleman. Pablo Rivera Espinosa de los Monteros, it's a pleasure to have you on. I know that's a mouthful, right?
No. I know, it's very hard.
I hope I didn't butcher it, though.
No, actually you did it very, very well, man.
Very
For
well?
the first round, that was really good.
I didn't even ask you how to say it. That's my fault, but luckily, I guess it worked out, right?
You worked out, yeah. You got it phenomenal, yeah.
It's the Rosetta Stone that I've been working on. Yeah,
Awesome.
my girlfriend keeps getting mad at me because I get all the sayings always right, and then she always butchers them. So what can I say? Natural.
Well, you're a natural. That's not what you say, right?
So,
yeah.
Pablo, man, excited to have you on. I heard many great things, especially from a friend that Brian Casella, a mutual contact. And can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? You definitely do something totally different, and we want to know more.
Yeah, awesome. Well, first of all, thank you for having me here on your show. And also shout out to our mutual friend, Brian Casella, because he's the guy that connected us. What I do is definitely, you got it right. Nobody knows what I do. That's why I get to charge so much, because, it's like, what the hell do you do? It's people always try to put you into a specific category, and people believe that I'm just about fashion, that I'm just here to tell you what to wear, what not to wear, and that's not the case. When you talk about image consulting, how it all started, actually, how the business started, it was back in the day when the election from JFK and Nixon, that election started image consultants, because for the people that actually listened to the debate on radio, everyone thought that Nixon won the debate. But for people, it was the first debate ever on the history of the entire world that a political debate was actually televised. It was on national TV. So the people that actually saw JFK, everyone thought that he won. Not because of his answers, but because of the way that he answered, the tonality that he used also. But also because he got the way that he looked. He got, how do you call it, like makeup, So because that when you are on set, you sweat a lot.
Oh, yeah. So
the people that saw Nixon, because he was a very, he was an old-fashioned, old-school guy, he said, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to use any makeup. I mean, I'm not a woman.
Mm-hmm,
but JFK said, well, I'm a fresh man. Yeah, make me look good. And Nixon started sweating a lot. And, that's just long story short. That's how image consultants were invented. That is, we are the people that are behind, in quotes, the power, that we enhance whatever the hell you already have. We make you aware of what you are so that you can communicate it congruently. And I say that, I emphasize that, congruently to your audience. Because it's not about me telling you need to wear a suit, or if you're a woman that you need to put on some makeup. No, it's not about that. It's about knowing what your target audience. Sorry about the noise, by the way.
It's okay.
I'm sorry about the noise. I thought we're not going to be in a noise, but anyway. it's not about giving you advice, like random advice based on, tendencies or what's fashionable, what looks good or not, what you like, what you don't like. It's about knowing your audience so that we can engage your audience to the best of your abilities with what you have. So what I do is I get to know you. I work like your psychiatrist, like your psychologist, or like your therapist, because I really get in really deep with you. I need to find out what you are, who you are, and what you want in life, so that together that we can create a public image that will, stimulate your audience in the best way possible. That's exactly.
Yeah.
Long story short, this is what I do.
No, that's yeah. You definitely are making me picture it. I mean, so you're the image therapist, in a sense.
Yeah,
that's a good way to put it. Better. I like that. I actually like that a lot. That's catchy, and it's definitely different, because most people are just telling you to focus on, now, being here now, thinking positive, saying things positive, not so much about actually your appearance. I think that gets a little overlooked at times, especially with the whole entrepreneur. Everybody's just like, go, 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 like energy, energy, energy. But we kind of forget that, like, you also got to kind of still show up, right?
Exactly. It's your brand. I mean, I think that your image, and by the way, I might actually change, instead of saying that I'm an image consultant just because you said it now, I will give you a shout out. I'm an image therapist now. It sounds way better.
I like that.
But yeah, I like it. It's catchy. It's different. Yeah, I always say that, especially with entrepreneurs, right? Because there's a lot of people right now in today's society that want to become their own bosses, and they want to be an entrepreneur and all of this stuff. What I say is that your image is the silent brand that always communicates what you're all about, what your values are about, what your company is all about. I mean, you pay attention to the brand and the logo of your company, right? You do pay attention to that. So why don't you wear the same values of your brand and of your company with yourself? Because then what I don't like is when people start becoming incongruent. Like, I don't know, even talking with our mutual friend in the real estate business, right? There's a lot of people that they want to be like the perfect guy, that the white picket fence house, and they don't cuss, they don't do anything like that. But when the camera is shut down, they start cussing. They start saying, yeah, let's go to the club, and I don't give a fuck. So I'm like, man, that's not congruent. What happens when you meet a client outside of your professional life? If you look terrible, you look like shit, but then, every day you wake up and you put on a suit, you go to the job and you meet up clients. But by the time it's on Sunday or it's on Friday, when no one else is watching you, if you're not congruent, that's when I really get deep into that. And I'm saying, like, be congruent with yourself. Get to know yourself so that you be congruent. And then by the time you meet up with a client, that client is going to actually appreciate you even more, because you're not fake, right? You're just saying what you are without even words. Look at me. As I am on the outside, I'm also like that on the inside, man. And that's something very hard that I don't see enough people doing. I don't see enough people even talking about it, man.
Yeah, no, the fact that you right now, as you're bringing it up, you're making me think about it. And I'm like, man, that is so true. Because you have to be on your game 24/7, right? If you're there, if you're the face.
Especially,
yeah, that totally makes sense. But so when did you know, though, that, enough was enough? You didn't want to do, you didn't want to be bossed around. You didn't want to just work for somebody else, work for a company. You had that mission, that goal that you wanted to eventually get to where you're at now. Like, was there a turning point in your life, you would say?
Yeah. Oh, man. There was a lot of turning points. I mean, I don't like regret, but I can remember, because my story, I'm not going to give you my whole story, but just to keep it short and interesting, because I realized that I didn't want to, be bossed around, and I didn't want to be on a 9-to-5 job at a very early age, because I started working when I was 17 years old, right? I left my home when I was 17 years old. So, of course, I needed money. So I went into a restaurant, and I started working as a dishwasher. And I fucking hated it. It was terrible. It was horrible, I really wanted to become a chef. Before I ever knew that I wanted to become an image consultant or an image therapist, I said, I'm going to be a chef, and I actually wanted to become a celebrity chef. I always loved the camera, and I want people to look at me and whatnot. So,
and you're making food. I mean, how could you go wrong with that?
Right.
Something we all love it.
I said it. I said, I love creating things. I was like, I'm going to become a chef, blah, blah, blah. And I started door knocking because I didn't have the money. I left my home when I was 17. I didn't got the money to actually go to college or anything like that. So I just needed a job to pay the bills and to have food on my table. So they didn't give me the job as a chef or anything. I started as a dishwasher, then I started as a waiter and all that. And at a very young age, I realized that people, they don't push themselves enough. They don't want to give the extra. They say that they want, because everyone talks about the same shit. Everyone wants to be the boss, or everyone wants to have the beautiful cars and the mansions and money, whatever the hell. But when it comes down to it, I realized that very few people actually go the extra mile. And I got mad. I got really mad. Like, how come I'm pushing it even harder and I'm doing this and this is not even my business, and I'm not getting rewarded. And I'm like, no, fuck this. I'm going to start my own business. But before I even start doing that, I went traveling around the world because I was trying to find my place, in the world. I said, well, I saved a little money and then I went backpacking into Europe. And that's actually how I started getting deeper into fashion. I started learning fashion, of course. I lived in Milan. I lived in Florence Italy. I lived in Switzerland. I lived in Morocco, Spain, different parts of Spain.
Oh, wow.
And all just to find out what my place is in the world and if people actually live differently, because I thought, well, I'm not, I don't want to say that I'm different, that I'm better than the average employee. So I said, let's travel and see if in a different country they actually think differently. No, it was the same shit. It was the same horrible being bossed around. No one wants to, very few people, I got some mentors, but literally I said, well, if I really think of myself that big, if I think that I can make it better, let's prove it. Let's see if I can actually make it and start my own business. I'm going to go back to Mexico and I'm going to start my own image consulting business. But before I even start doing that, let's see if I can just learn a little bit more. So I literally went to business, door knocking to every single fashion business or industry, every single image or style industry or company that there is in Mexico City. And all of them, they just gave me a home run. Like, get the hell out of here, boy. I don't want you here.
Really?
I even said, don't pay me. I just want to learn. I don't have the money to pay for this knowledge. So just, I'm willing to do absolutely anything. I just want to learn, and don't give me the money. They all said no. For one reason or another, man, I cannot understand it. But I'm very grateful that I didn't get hired, because I said, well, fuck it. I'm going to start Style Systems. And that's actually how it all started.
Wow. So did you know you were going to go into Style Systems, or was it gradually like, because of all this, it's like, shit, I got no other choice. I got to either go in now or I don't, right? Was that kind of what it was like? Or
yeah. Well, it was kind of in between. Like, I always knew that I wanted to be like a businessman. I wanted to have like different sources of income, because I always said, I want to be free, financially free and all that. But yes, because I didn't have like the, how do you call them? Like the degree of an image consultant or anything like that. I said, well, I need to get someone to back me up that I actually know what I'm talking about. So let me work in an industry, in a company where they can actually give me some of the credits and all that. And I don't, but so gradually I realized that no one was willing to hire me, but I'm a very passionate human being. As you can tell, I'm a very, very passionate human being. And everything that I say, I don't believe it. I know it. I'm like all in. So I said, well, I'm not going to stop. I can't stop. I burned all the bridges. Now, what the hell am I going to do now? Do I go back to Europe? I don't have the money again. So you know what? Let's start this and see what happens.
So you're telling me you almost had no like credentials, no school and this at all.
No.
And you were still able to start it up and be as successful as you are.
Yeah, it was really hard still. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to sound like like cocky and shit. But yeah, I've made it. Now just last year we made a little bit over $400,000, man, just on my fucking business, like 6 figures income now. And I'm like,
that's huge.
How the hell did I did that? And I have no fucking idea. I had no clue, because like I told you, I'm so passionate. I just keep doing my thing. And I don't even I don't even think, I don't allow myself to think about it. I just go all in like a pit bull.
Right? So thinking about it will drive you crazy, and it'll actually stop you from doing it. And I think this is so important for the listeners, because a lot of times, like for me, for example, I'm not doing anything that I actually went to school for at all anymore. And, it just shows you that you can still make it happen as long as you're passionate about it and you want to make it happen. You have the drive. It really doesn't matter if you have your schools or any credentials or any doctorates, nothing. You can still make it happen. You just need to want to.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and take it from me. I'm a boy that I'm a nobody, right? Like, that comes from Mexico, and I made it into LA and to giving seminars and to being with actors and with people people like Brian, and he's huge in social media, and so. How do I did it? Well, you just said it, passion. And if I can make it, it's something that I always want to inspire in others also. A little bit with style systems. I always try to, a little bit of that inspiration that if I can make it, it'll just like anyone can make it, man.
That's awesome. That's going to turn into even a better and better story over time.
Hope so, yeah.
It will. I could tell with your drive. But, there had to be like a mistake or two, right, along the way, I take it?
Definitely.
Is there one that, going into this entrepreneurial world, is there one that you think was crucial that you can't just teach people, that they still have to probably do it themselves?
Oh, man, it was, I don't know, and there was a lot of mistakes, a lot I can talk about. I think that the worst mistake that I ever made, it was trying not to make any mistakes. Trying to be perfect and trying to be like, no, man, I'm going to make it. And, I'm going to prove my mom wrong because, I left my home and I was, no, she's wrong. Or I'm going to prove my friends wrong. I'm going to, and you're in this like vicious circle of thinking that you can make shit happen perfectly and that you're not going to make mistakes and then everything is going to work perfectly. And that's actually how I made more mistakes, a lot of mistakes. I can tell you right now, I don't consider it a mistake, but because of following my passions, I ended up even living on the streets once in Spain.
What?
I ended up living on the streets, man, because I was so passionate. I said, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to go there and I'm going to pursue my dreams. And
that's true. You want to elaborate?
No,
you don't have to. But.
Everything, I don't have to. But I just tell you that I know what I'm talking about because if I did so many mistakes that I was doing drugs. Part of it, that's why I ended up on the streets. So, I made a lot of fucking mistakes. But if I really just if I could go back in time, and just talk to myself when I was feeling miserable, whatever, because no one knows. And, I remember when I did my first book as well. And actually I went back to drugs because of it. I remember I did my first book, right? And I was here in Mexico City. I was back in Mexico City. And I remember the first sale that I got ever, it was like a year after I actually wrote the fucking book. And the first sale, I said like, I'm so excited. And then when I actually saw it, it was my mom. My mom was the first one to buy it, which is cute, it's like, cool. But
you gotta start somewhere, right?
But I was like, no, man, I want to make it and whatever. So I went back to drugs. I was doing stupid things, but because I wanted to be perceived as this guy that makes no mistakes, that perfect image consultant that, well, hello guys, and I'm perfect and whatever. And no, dude. When I started realizing that you have to keep it real, right? Yeah. You have to keep it real. That's when I started connecting more with people, and more people started to get to know me, and my social media started growing, and from there I connected with very, very powerful people that allowed me to, bring more money, to create a better name. And from there, just allowing me to make mistakes. That for me was the best.
So it's more important than to cover up your image. It's more important to actually be real and release the truth, right? And go with that. And either people like you or they don't.
Yeah, to me, definitely. That's part of what I teach folks.
I think, yeah, I couldn't agree more. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's just say, so, for the listeners, whether they already are entrepreneurs or they're not, let's just say they're where I was a year ago and still, stuck behind a cubicle, sitting there, in their office desks. Is there some word of advice, because it's not easy. Obviously, I'm sure this route is not easy and it's hard to make it. Yeah. Is there something you would tell them, if they're debating to make that leap, or whether or not they should think twice?
Yeah, definitely. I have a lot to say, man. Definitely, we would have to do like 3 shows.
Right? Let's do it.
Right? Yeah. No. Well, to keep it short and sweet, I would say that, oh man, where to start?
Right? I guess the first one that comes to mind.
The first one that comes to my mind, I would say just make a lot of mistakes. Goes along with what I just said. Mm-hmm. Allow yourself to make a lot of mistakes. Maybe sometimes you are so like in your brain, you think that you need to be a boss. Maybe you don't have to be a boss. Maybe I want to work with you, Miro. Maybe I want to work with you. Maybe, and that actually working with you, with boss to boss, will allow me to be free, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't all these stereotypes. I don't want you. I think people are very easy to fall into the stereotypes of. It sounds very cool to be your own boss until you actually have to make shit happen. So
yes,
that's one of the things that I
not easy.
It's not easy. It's super hard. And how far are you willing to take it? Are you willing to live in the streets like I did just because you're following your dream and your passions or because you're on boss? I was still my own boss, but I was living on the street. I mean,
that's a great way to put it. I mean, that should be like one of those quotes, I'm still my own boss, but I am living on the streets. So take it as it is.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps you on track,
Yeah.
But also having the other part, like, don't get caught up in this in what's perceived as cool. Because I know that being an entrepreneur is perceived as being cool, being your boss is perceived as being cool, making a lot of money and all that. Just get to know yourself so deep where you know what success means to you, and then from there, have it on your mind, like. Think of nothing else. If you have that already embedded in your mind, whether you're working on a 9 to 5 or not, you're not going to care. You're going to say, well, if I quit my job right now, I'm not going to be able to pay the bills. Fuck that, man. Do it because you already have it in your mind, man. You know it. You don't believe in it. I actually hate when people say believe in yourself or believe in this, believe in that, because, by traveling a lot allowed me to see that beliefs come and go. Some people in Morocco believe some of the craziest things ever. Like, literally, I was there and I was like, I remember one time I was eating dinner and some crazy car just exploded. And actually, they believe that, the holy wars and all that. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? But they believe that. Hey, they believe that. So beliefs, they're very relative, right? And they come and go. I want to know what I'm doing. I don't want to believe in myself. I want to know myself. I want to know that style systems will actually give me the money and the success that I want. I will put me on the scene, or, I want to know about it. So once you become so like obsessed with this idea and you know it, literally, guys, for the listeners, you're not going to care. You're not going to care whether I tell you can do it or you cannot do it. You're definitely not going to care. You're just going to fucking do it.
Exactly. No, that's great. That's very inspirational. And then where could our listeners find more about you? If they want to just find out more about Style Systems or learn more about Pablo himself, what's the best place?
All over social media. If you just Google Style Systems, my mustache will appear.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. I guarantee you will find it.
But I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram, Style Systems, stylesystems.net. On Facebook, you can just type in Style Systems and, simply just Google it and then I will show up.
Yeah, you heard that here, everybody. That's Style Systems, at Style Systems or stylesystems.net. And you can't miss them. You'll find them. Just look for the mustache. Look for follow the stash. Follow the stash. There you go.
That's a good one too. Follow the stash. That's a catchy one.
Next one I'm charging you.
I know, right?
All right, now on to the Boss to Boss listeners' favorite segment of the show.
Welcome to the round with no name because they're all taken.
Just toss answers at me.
Okay, cool.
First thing that comes to mind. You can't really change your answer. That's it. We're gonna run with it, and that's it. And hopefully you don't go over 5 seconds. Otherwise, my producer Tony the leg breaker, aka Steve. He comes out. I don't want to know what he does, so let's just keep it at that.
Cool. Just how I like it. Straight up.
All right.
Straight up answer.
Here we go. Favorite book?
Awaken the Giant Within.
You're gonna have to definitely elaborate on that. You're stranded on an island. What is the one item you want with you?
That's a long answer. I wish that I'm going to give you a long answer because that's what it is. If we would have done this 3 years ago, I would have told you my suit, my bespoke suit or something like that. But now, because I do a lot of meditation, yoga, and all these things, I am detached of everything. And now I know that I don't need nothing but myself. Because if I lose everything right now, if I lose my business, if I am stranded on an island and I have absolutely nothing, not my suits, not my business, not my family, not my girlfriend, not anyone, I know that I can build everything up again. Because eventually it's ultimate responsibility. I owe it to myself. And I know that I can make it again.
That is, I think, the first time ever we've gotten that answer. I like it. I like it. Because I was imagining you just sitting there on the beach with your suits, and I'm like, man,
what an ugly answer!
What a great answer, man! What an awesome thing that you admire the suit for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Not having anything to eat, but I would look phenomenal though.
Phenomenal doing it. Who is or has been your greatest mentor?
Well, there's a lot, man. Oh, man. I'm going to give you just one answer because that's how you said it. And because the other two mentors that I can give you, I've actually never met them, but I bought a lot of things from them. But the person that I met him, and actually he was responsible for me going to America, is Araj Divasar. He was the first entrepreneur to believe in me. He said, you have something within you, man. Like, you're passionate, you have something, you have a spark. Come here, let's do a seminar together, and you will fucking explode. So I owe it to him, man.
That's amazing. Is entrepreneurism a fad?
Oh, that's a good question.
I already know your answer.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not. It's not a fad. No, I mean, yes and no. Yes and no, because what I just said, right? That it sounds cool, and everyone is the hype right now. It's like, so it's a movement right now. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but it's a movement right now. Like, everyone is trying to wake up, and they're answering to the call that you are responsible for your own life. So if you want to make more money, go make more money. If your boss is not allowing you to make more money, then get the hell out of that place and build your own place, or go to a different place. Try new different things. So there's kind of like, it's starting to become a trend, which is something that it's cool, but at the same time, people don't realize how just hard it is and the fundamentals of being an entrepreneur. They just go with the flow, and I don't like that. So it's not a fad, but I think that eventually, it will be like a major contributor to the economy in the entire world. Because literally, I see it even more with millennials and all of them. I see more people just waking up to this call that, okay, man, I want to follow my dreams. How do I do that? Become an entrepreneur. Now, out of the 99% of the entire population that want to become an entrepreneur, I know that only 1% will actually go all the way to it. But more people are just waking up. So I don't think it's a fad. I think we need more people like you. We need more people like Brian. We need more people that tell these young kids, or tell these people that want to become an entrepreneur, how to do it. Because it's not just one word.
Yep. I mean, there's plenty of room. We're willing to share.
Yeah, there is actually.
How do you drink your coffee?
How do I drink coffee? How do I drink it?
Yes.
Oh man, well, black.
Just straight up black?
No sugar. Straight up black, no sugar. Yeah.
You know, there's a study out there by the Huffington Post that
really,
if you drink black coffee, more likely the chances that you're a psychopath.
Probably, yeah.
I drink black coffee too, man. So don't worry.
We're good.
Cool. No, they.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, no, it was a study that was out, and when I read it, I died because I'm like, oh man, it explains a lot
Cool.
of things about me.
Actually, if I think about it, it explains a lot of things about me as well. That's why I'm maybe some crazy and passionate. Like,
Right.
cool.
That's
That's
yeah.
cool.
You got to use that towards like,
The
use
branding.
it and run
Yeah.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah,
is
that's
there
cool.
is there a specific coffee you drink though, or just a normal homemade?
No. Well, just French press. I love using the French press, and I love coffee from Mexico, south of Mexico.
Is there like a specific?
Chiapas?
Is there?
Yeah,
It's called Chiapas.
Yeah, Chiapas. It's from Chiapas. Oh man, that's beautiful. One of the best coffees that I've ever tasted.
Can we find this in America or no?
Yeah, of course you can find it anywhere.
So just look for Chiapas.
Yeah, just look for Chiapas, coffee from Chiapas, and any brand. I'm not even talking of a specific brand. I'm just talking about the place. If it comes from there because of the altitude and everything, I guarantee you will love it. You will fall in love with it.
You're killing me, man. I'm sitting over here drinking my Dunkin' Donuts, and
No.
and you're bringing up
no,
this
no,
like
no.
amazing place with altitude specific. Man.
I'm
You're killing
passionate.
me.
I'm telling
You're
you.
killing me.
Even if I'm drinking coffee, I'm passionate about everything.
Killing me, man.
Yeah.
Is there another item that you consume or you have every day or something you need? It could be a food item, it could be a clothing item, it could be a drink that you need every day that makes you you. Something specific.
That's a good one. Well, I started doing it less, but I love bourbon and I love cigars. I love bourbon and I love cigars. And that's something that actually you can actually see me. If you know me very well, you know that I'm always smoking a cigar or drinking my bourbon.
Is there like a specific one you look for? Like there's one bourbon that you need or one cigar that's like your go-to?
No, I like trying new ones. Every once in a while, I try new ones. But I love Monte Cristo. That's one that you always see me with a Monte Cristo. And but no, with whiskey, no. I mean, I just started drinking right now wild turkey. I've never tasted it before, and I like it actually.
Yeah, no, that's definitely some strong stuff.
that's what I mean.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I need that.
I've seen your videos. I've seen your videos.
I need that. Yeah,
I like it.
You've seen it. Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen you making some whiskeys before, or bourbon, right? It was a bourbon, I think, drink.
Yeah, bourbon. Yeah.
Well, how do you feel about white shoes, white socks with black shoes?
I was hoping you would ask me.
Can we do it? Can we please do it? I don't think it's that bad, right?
White socks
with black shoes
and with white socks you can only wear them if you go to the gym or if you go to a place. If there are white socks specifically made to do some sort of exercise, some sort of movement, or like it's not to go to your job or to go to a date or no. You cannot do it.
Why?
It looks horrible.
Why?
It looks horrible, man. It doesn't make any sense.
So if you were meeting with me and that's how I came dressed up, would you automatically think negatively of me?
Now, okay, let me give you the long answer. The long answer is that there's a theory of style, and I don't want to overwhelm you. There's a theory of style which covers that. It's universal, by the way. Do you see it on clothes, products, people, even countries? So anyway, there are 7 different styles, all right? So what I would think is, and especially me being an image consultant, I cannot be about I like it, I don't like it, because that will actually permeate how let's say that you want to hire me. But you're wearing white socks. I'm like, no, I don't want you. That doesn't make any sense. But I would say, okay, you're definitely saying a lot about yourself if you're doing that. The thing is, are you aware of it, or are you just wearing it because you think it looks cool? If you think it looks cool, you don't know shit about fashion. But if you're doing it because there's a purpose behind it, maybe you're branding yourself, or maybe you're more creative, then it could work. But there has to be like a story behind it that backs it up. Otherwise, no.
I am so glad you gave me the long answer. So glad. 'Cause now I can use this little tidbit when next time I need to defend myself. Perfect.
And you say, well, I know an image therapist that actually gave me the okay, so I can wear whatever the hell I want to wear.
Part of my image. I am branding myself.
Yeah. If it's congruent with your essence, go for it.
If you were to start up a company right now, you could start up any company you want. What would it be?
Ooh.
Specific company or industry? Anything?
Construction business.
Oh, really?
I would get into it. Yeah, I know there's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about pure business.
Mm-hmm,
So
yeah, pure business.
I've been trying to get into that. So right now, that's the first thing that pops into my mind. Like, yes, construction business. Construction business. If you can get into real estate or construction business, whew, everyone needs a piece of the pie, of that pie, because there's a lot of money to be made there. A lot of money.
All right. Well, you made it. I made it. We're both still here. We survived the round.
Yeah.
The speed round.
That was a good one, man.
Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. Had to get you, had to make sure that you're there, you're ready to go, get you on your feet. And
that was good.
So yeah, everybody remember that Style Systems, at Style Systems. Check him out everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, his website, stylesystems.net.
Yep.
You got any closing thoughts for us? Anywhere we could maybe catch you next, or you speaking anywhere? Anything you just want to, leave us with?
Well, yeah, I'm right now I'm back in Mexico City, but I'm going back to LA to actually do a seminar with Brian, by the way, with Brian Casella. We're going to do a seminar next month on September. And, I'm getting more involved into the e-commerce business because I know that I can sell a lot of clothes and all of that. I'm doing another online course. So, if you just go into stylesystems.net, you will see all the news because I'm always doing something new. Always doing something new, man.
So the seminar, if the listeners from Boss to Boss wanted to catch you there, or catch you and Brian at the seminar, is there anything where? So what, should they just go on the website? Is there any promo going on? Anything, or what is?
Oh, we will definitely. If you guys follow us on our social media, you will definitely hear about it. But yeah, there will be a promo, especially for you guys, for your listeners. I mean, if you really want to go, you can go there live. It's going to be on Roland Heights, California. Mm-hmm. If you cannot make it over there, it's going to be streamed worldwide, and you will get the recorded version as well. So, it's something that we do a lot where we're going to talk about certain fundamentals of success that people don't know. That I don't want to give too much because we haven't made the proper announcement yet. So it's going to be very, very good. But yeah, definitely. We will have some promo for you guys. Okay. Definitely.
All right. Well, you heard that here, listeners. Exclusive here on Boss to Boss. Well, we'll keep you updated with the details, though. Yeah. But, don't forget to keep an eye on that. All right, Pablo, it's been a pleasure having you on. Remember, everybody, that's at Styles Systems. You can find everything you need from your image therapist. That's the best way to put it, right?
Yeah, fashion. Just being
we all need one. We all need one, and we might have to have some more talks after this.
Yeah,
we will. All right,
definitely, man. Thank you for having me here.
Of course, we'll definitely talk again soon.
That is all for this episode of Boss to Boss. Your next step is to visit bosstoboss.com, where you will find proven techniques followed by professionals to help you make that next step. Again, that is boss2boss.com. And remember, the time is now.